Economic development also has been one of my huge topics that I've talked a lot about. One of the things I think is most important is that we diversify in our economic development. And what we've not ever done as a city is create a plan on what we actually want the city to be economically. Never made a plan. And so, we've kind of just got where we are because things just happen. A business just comes or a business just leaves, and then we deal with it in the moment. And so for the last year, what we've been focused on, and I've been a huge part of, is building a strategic plan. A strategic plan that actually outlines what does the City of Havelock want. Not what does Will Lewis want, not what does any other member of the board want, but what Havelock actually wants. And we've engaged stakeholders, business leaders, property owners, citizens, and we've asked, where does the city need to be? And we're building a plan to get to that point. And part of that plan is things we've never done, like a simple evaluation of property inventory in the City of Havelock that's available for commercial use. If a business came today that was bringing 10 employees and they called our planning department and they said, I need 4,000 square feet, I'd like my utility bills to be around this, my taxes to be around this, I'm bringing this many employees, what have you got? Our planning department says, we don't know. We don't know. So we call realtors, we call the HRDC, the Regional Development Group, we call other developers, what have you got, what can we build? But in today's world, things move a lot faster than they did in 10 years ago, 20 years ago. By the time a business comes to Havelock and says, I'm interested, what do you have? They want to know now what you have. They give you a deadline. They don't say, get back to me in a month. They say, I want to know by this date what my options are, because they're also looking at 3 or 4 other cities. And for our planning department to, number one, have an inventory. What is empty? What commercial space is empty? How many square feet is it? What's the history of the utility bills, water? We have 3 electric providers in Havelock. Uber Electric, Progress/Duke Energy, Carter Craven Electric. Which one serves that building? What can you expect your utility rates to be? How much is your water and sewer going to bill? We can provide that package to them within 2 days if we go ahead and take an inventory. We haven't done that. We're starting that process now. That process will be integral in today's world to actually get someone to be here. The other thing the plan's got to do is be very clear about what actually is going to work in Havelock. I mean, Google's not coming to Havelock. Cracker Barrel is not coming to Havelock. I love to have a Cracker Barrel in Havelock. It's not coming to Havelock. These companies have demographic restraints. They have to have a certain population. They have to have a certain type of income. They have to have a certain level of traffic on the highway. If you don't meet those, you're wasting your time hoping they're even going to come here. So a realistic vision through the strategic plan that says these are the types of businesses that are going to grow Havelock, and what they are small businesses. It's businesses that have 10 employees, businesses that have 6 employees, businesses that have 20 employees. Tandem Lock, who a whole lot of citizens from here to Moorhead, they have a lot of employees now. When they started, it was a few employees and a couple of people started the building. But that business has grown and provided more jobs. And I've also said it's very important that we focus on the businesses we already have. There are businesses in Havelock right now that we devalue. And those businesses have the same value to us. 90% of economic growth in a small town occurs within a growing company that already exists in your community. And I think we don't pay any attention to that. If you're already here, we take it for granted. You're already here. So anyway, some hot topics on economic diversity. I can go on for an hour. Literally, I will not. So the other thing, I think we got to build some relationships that I think have been hindered in the past. I think there's a lot of sort of old school bad relations between the county and Havelock, between DOT and Havelock. And a lot of you have heard me say this over the years sitting up there at the board, but a lot of times we don't go up there with a solution, we go up there with some sort of weapon. I mean, we take some sort of pride in the fact that we can make some claim that we are poking DOT in the eye in the newspapers, or we're dragging the county through the mud because they treated us wrong. But if you look at the history of how we've dealt with those problems, we have never, ever taken a solution. We just go complain. And we all know that doesn't work. Squeaky wheel does get the grease, but only if it needs to be fixed. Squeak all you want, they can just throw you in the trash if they don't want to fix you. And I think that's what we've done as Havelock. It's like we've taken on, our boards in the past have taken on this feel of wanting to be a martyr. I mean, it's something for us to complain about. And so, this past year, I've led a couple of meetings with county leaders, a couple of meetings with DOT, and what we do is we say, we don't like this is horrible, but here's how we think we would solve it. Here's a couple of ideas. And they don't all stick. Sometimes they say you're out of your mind, the same way I'm sure all of you can tell me how to solve every problem in Havelock, and some of them just aren't doable. But occasionally we get one that does stick. And we do solve problems. We have solved problems very recently with the library. We solved problems where we're going to have new computers there. And that would not have happened if we hadn't gone to the solution, if we'd just been in the newspaper talking about how we're getting it handed to us over and over and over again. So I'm all about a plan for the city. I'm not great at sticking to a plan because I think one mistake we've made is when we do make a plan, we get so rigid inside that plan that when something goes wrong, we just drop the plan. And every document we create has to be kind of a living, breathing document. When your state elected officials get reelected, you got to change the way you're going to operate. We haven't done that. We've got all new state leadership for our districts. We've not changed the way we operate. And they don't operate the way we do, and we're getting nothing done in the state level because of that. So the only other thing I'll say is, as far as being the mayor, I think that accessibility has been a little bit of an issue in the past for the board and the mayor. And what I mean by that is whether or not citizens feel extremely comfortable in talking to you and having the ability to talk to you. It's different between being able to call me at my house or actually knowing that I'm going to sit down in a room with you and discuss what we need to discuss. And I think that accessibility, I mean, as the mayor, as a commissioner, our job is to represent Havelock. It's not about me. I don't create policy for me. I mean, I am a taxpayer. I do pay the same utility bills you do. But I'm here to do what's best for Havelock, and that's, the citizens know what's best for Havelock as much as I do. So, as a mayor, for example, I think one thing we should have is office hours. The mayor has an office in the city of Havelock. As mayor, I would take one day a week and say, I'm going to be in that office these 3 hours. Any of you who've been to college, you know, professors do it. I'm going to be in this room for these hours. You got a problem, come see me. I'm going to be at this phone number for this period of time, come see me. I think that would go a long way. Also, I really feel like situations like this, where citizens have access to find out what we're actually thinking, I think would be, a lot of times we have miscommunications between the citizens and the elected body, where the elected body is doing something, citizens think we're crazy. It's like we've had all these things where they think we're going to do this, and it's really not what we're doing, but once a rumor starts, you know, it just roams. And so then the only form is for you to come stand in front of, we're sitting up on a dais elevated above you, and you're going to stand at a podium for 5 minutes and tell me what you think about how we're doing it wrong. Which is an uncomfortable situation for us and for you. And so the opportunity to know that if you think we might be doing something, or you want to know what we're doing to solve a problem, that you can actually come see me, see a commissioner, and sit down and say, this is what I think, tell me the truth. Tell me what's really going on. Why is this not working? I don't think we do that now. I don't think we do that. I'm in City Hall all the time. I'm telling you, I never see a citizen in there. That's your building. It's your building. City manager works at your pleasure too. You can walk in and ask him any question you want. Nobody does. I think it's because we have a culture of inaccessibility. So I will do my best to solve that problem. And I think anybody that knows me here, you've asked me questions, and I've told you things you don't like to hear sometimes. Because I am going to tell you what I know about what the truth is and what we're doing. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I think we're doing. And then I'm very open to hear where people feel very easy telling me that I might be wrong, which is fine. That's the only way we're going to solve problems. 6 people represent 11,000 in the city, 20,000 count the base. Those 6 people don't have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. So I'll leave it with that. I'm going to stop. I'm way past my limit, I'm sure. So what we'll do is I'm gonna stop with that. Pete's going to talk to you for a few minutes, and then any questions you want to ask, and you can feel free to direct him directly. Like if you just want to ask me, or you just want to ask Pete, or you want to